Hello everyone! I'm so happy that you were able to come back, and I'm just so excited that I have another dream to share with you, but this one's fun. It's definitely different than what I've given you guys before, but it's a confirmation dream. I had been praying and praying fervently for confirmation that these dreams that I have been given and visions and words from God were actually from God, and I wanted to make sure I was on the right path. So I believe he gave me this dream, and at first I didn't understand because it's kind of a wonky dream. But you'll see once we go through everything that it was just amazing how he laid it all out for me, to let me know that, I'm doing what he wants me to do. So let's get started. Yes, as you see from the photograph, I was on a game show. But it was a little different than this. Instead of a black background, it was like a purpley blue, like a periwinkle, and I had a partner. So we stood at our podium and we answered questions, and there was a team we were competing against, and they were answering questions too. We were just average couple, except for we were, partners, but we were a male and a female, and I remember he had a beard, and they were younger, and they were very athletic. I want to say gymnasts, and I remember they were in like track suits, like the Olympiads wear, when you see them competing, whatnot. So we're answering questions, we're doing pretty well, but we didn't win. They won. And the way it worked was the winner got to go first on the next leg. So we walk out, and they are leaving out of the studio first and into this white hallway. And my partner and I walk out next, and he stops me and he says, "So what do you think?" And I said, "Well, maybe." And we walk down the corridor, and it's all white, and it's like a white hallway, and it empties out into outside, and it's dark, it's nighttime, pitch dark, and there's floodlights coming from somewhere, and it's shining on this obstacle course, and it's straight in front of us, but I can't really see it all because it's so dark, and the spotlights are shining on, I guess, the first part of it, which was this rope. If you look on the left, it has a rope with knots and a plank, take away the plank, remove the plank, it was just the rope, and the rope itself was anchored into the sand, pretty tight. And so they're standing near the obstacle course, and they're getting ready to go in, and they're wearing like purple, this lovely rich plum purple, and they have long sleeves, and it's like a unitard like gymnasts would wear. One of them gets into the water, so it's sand, the obstacle course is in sand and half water, and one gets into the water, and she starts going hand to hand up the rope in the water. Then the other one does a cartwheel and a handstand and walks up the rope, and they're doing it tandemly together, up the rope together. And I'm watching them, and I'm like, I don't know, because I knew my partner would want to be in the water going under. That meant I was going to be walking on top. And I just looked at him, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And I said, I need to think about this. So I walked behind him, and I'm walking down the beach, and it's starting to get a little lighter, and now it's like daytime, and the sand is rich brown, real like brown sugar, and I can see families and people in the water, and the sun is warm, and there's a boardwalk, and I think it's a cement boardwalk, and there's stuff going on up there, I don't know, shops or whatever, and I can see a staircase that I'm getting close to that went from the sand to the boardwalk with railing, and I'm walking towards it. I don't know if I thought like I'd sit down and think, but I'm walking towards it, and something catches my eye near the stairway, and it's in the sand, and there's like little silver and blue things shining in the sun. And I look down and pick up the silver one, and it's a silver coin. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. All right. So I put it back in the sand. I said, I'm going to come back for those. And I went back. I said, okay, I need to go back to the obstacle course. I'm walking back. And as I'm walking back, it's starting to get dimmer and darker. And now it's night again. And I'm standing next to my partner. We're kind of look at the obstacle course. And I'm like, okay, let's do it. And do this. And that was the end of the dream. Okay. Well, I wake up and I'm like, what the heck was that? Like... It was just so odd. I didn't even write it down because it was like one of those dreams, you know. You're like, too much pizza or something. So I get on with my day. And my daughter says she wants to go to the park. And we have parks around us, but I happen to choose the one that's like a half an hour away. So we get ourselves ready and we go to the park. And we went in the morning. I don't know if I thought because it would be warm, but we went in the morning. Okay, please forgive the crude picture, but this is an actual picture that I took from my chair. Sorry about that. The chair from my seat of the spinny thing. So after I set up our little area at the park in the grass, my daughter wanted to get into the spinny thing. She sat in and she said, "Spin me," and I'm like, oh. Okay, so I get out of my chair and I walk over to her to spin her, and I find a quarter. It's just sitting there on the mat right next to her, and this is actually a picture of the quarter that I found. I was like, yeah, I found a quarter. Good luck. Woo-hoo. I was like, and then all of a sudden it flashed in my mind. I was like, didn't I just have a dream where I found a coin in the sand? I thought, well, maybe I should log that dream after all. And I remembered it crystal clear because I had just had it hours before this. So I sit down in my chair and I'm just kind of giggling to myself. So my daughter's playing and I'm taking notes, about the dream. And then I stop and then I go back and make an update of the second part and say, and then I found this coin. And I look around where I am. This is the park I was at. I'm at this park, and this is an actual picture of the park. And I look around, I'm like, this park looks like an obstacle course, because it's not just a regular looking park. It's got, you see it. It doesn't look like just a swing set and basic stuff. So it was like a child's obstacle course. I'm like, wow, this is an obstacle course. So I add another addendum to my dream, and I'm thinking, this is amazing. First the coin, and then I'm at an obstacle course, and I'm like, wow, this is getting kind of cool. Well, then I see these girls show up, and there's about 10 or 12 of them, and they're all ages. I'd say probably 6, 7 to in their teens. And they're all walking around and playing on the equipment, but then all of a sudden they start doing gymnastic moves. They're doing cartwheels and hand springs and Lord knows what. And I'm watching, I'm like, wait a minute. Weren't those gymnasts doing that? And that's what they did on the obstacle course. And I watched one. She did it was the opposite. She did a handstand and then a spring, and then she did a cartwheel after it, and then she did a cartwheel again or something. But it wasn't quite the same as my dream. But I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't take a picture of the girls because they were really close and I felt weird. So that's why you have this image but I just wanted to give you the idea. But they were all doing these gymnastic things. So I made another log. Okay, so while I'm sitting there and I'm typing all this in, I decide to send a friend of mine a text to kind of fill him into what's going on. And he sends me a text and he says, I don't mean to freak you out. That was the first line. He goes, but I took my boys to the beach. And at the beach, they had one of these spinny things you said you put your daughter in. And here's a picture of them. And I cut them out because I didn't ask his permission, so that you don't see them. But you see the spinny thing is the same. It's like a bucket and the pole. And it's in the sand. And that was one of the components I didn't have. So by texting him and telling him about my dream and all these confirmations, he gave me another confirmation with the sand that I didn't have because I wasn't at the beach. So it was just amazing. It's like boom, 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 boom. God was just working. He was like, okay, you want confirmation? You want to know that everything that you're doing is on the right track? Well, here is everything. And this happened hours after I saw it in a dream. So I'm just amazed. So I put it all together and I sat on it. And then recently I've been thinking about, praying on what the next dreams are that I want to show you. Well, this one kind of popped up in my head and I got another confirmation. The solar eclipse. And it didn't even hit me at the time because I had this dream back in 2015. It didn't really dawn on me because, dreams, because like I said, I didn't even credit this dream as a prophetic dream. So when I started the obstacle course, it was nighttime. It was dark, I should say, and they had the floodlights to help us with light. But when I went down the beach to think, it was sunny. And then when I came back to the obstacle course, it was dark again. And I was thinking about it, and I thought, we're going to have a solar eclipse across America the end of August. I think the 20th, they said, somewhere around there. So I just thought, that's amazing. And I had to wait 2 years. I had to wait 2 years to get the final confirmation. I don't know, maybe something else will pop up, or maybe someone else will think or see of something that I missed. So please let me know your thoughts and feelings about this one. I know it's out there, but you get what you ask for, right? So again, please keep fighting because Jesus is fighting for you and he is on the horizon. God bless you all and take care.